So in today's Dokkan Battle video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 characters still not in Dokkan, and do let me know in the comment section down below who your top 5 are. I'm very curious to hear who you believe should have a card in Dokkan, and of course keep in mind, this is my top 5, you may not agree, you may agree with some of the units I do pick, but again, do let me know in the comment section down below as always. But as always, I hope you guys are having a great day, and if you do like today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. But let's go ahead and get started with my first unit, and it's going to be Menaka. I know this is maybe going to annoy a few people, but initially I thought that they were just going to release like an April Fool's card for Menaka, but they, for some reason, just keep giving out Yamchas, and of course he recently Dokkan with the April Fool's event, so it was a bit of an interesting decision, and a lot of people were kind of annoyed by it because it's just, you know, it's a Dokkan Awakening for a unit that you'll most likely never use. Like, yeah, let's be real here. You're most likely never going to be using those Yamchas anytime unless you're challenging yourself or maybe for a video. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, and it might, like me personally, I definitely agree with that. I would have preferred to see someone else in that spot, maybe a new Hercule, Menaka. It would have just been interesting to see a different unit apart from Yamcha. I mean, it gets kind of old at some point. Like, okay, we get it. Yamcha is a gag, well, not a gag character, but he's supposed to be a joke, basically. Well, in the original Dragon Ball series, he wasn't a joke, but, you know, recently he is a joke. But anyway, so, of course, we have Menaka, and it would be interesting to see what type of card he would be. Like, for some of these units, I do feel like they could potentially get support unit, or support items instead of just being an actual card in the game, but they will most likely be implemented into the game at some point. But for Menaka, I definitely feel like they would give him a card. Potentially April Fools, yet again. But again, we do not know. Maybe a mini arc based around a Patafu arc. I'm pretty sure that is what the arc is called, you know, the fake Vegeta and stuff. Maybe he would just be a farmable unit where you can obviously just farm this guy to Super Attack 10, and it would just be an interesting card. It wouldn't make him a summonable one, because that's what they basically do with the majority of the Joe cards. But yeah, Menaka would be an interesting choice. He is a fan favourite, clearly, because a lot of people have been requesting for his presence in the game for quite a while, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised that they didn't introduce him with the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 banner, but who knows, maybe in the future. But now, on to my next unit, and we have Tavian, a fan favourite, and to the surprise of many people, he still is not in the game, despite being a fan favourite, and I would imagine that a lot of the fans over in Japan have requested, you know, this card, but I know that Bandai doesn't tend to listen to the public. Well, that's what I think, I'm not too sure completely. But like I was saying, I feel like they take certain things from the feedback that they get and obviously improve certain aspects of the game. For example, recently they've been releasing more free-to-play units that are very, very good. A great example is Goku Jr., and if they keep doing that with units in the future, this game is going to have a very long lifeline because they are helping the free-to-play players obtain optimal units for their respective teams, which is great. But moving on to Tavian, again, like I said before, fan favourite, still has not been released. There has been absolutely no sign of him, if I'm not mistaken. He may have had an appearance in a story event or, you know, in a story mission, but to my knowledge, I don't think he's made any appearance. So it would be interesting to see how good of a card he would be. And a lot of people have been predicting that the Tech Lead and the Physical Super Lead, well, the Extreme Tech Lead and Physical Super Lead are actually going to be Tavian and Hirudegan. I don't know if I completely butchered the name, but hopefully you guys know who I'm talking about. Obviously, the villain of this movie. So, the thing about the reason why, okay, I'm going to say this straight away. I didn't include him in this list, but obviously it's my top 5. And if they were to implement him, I feel like he would be similar to the Great Apes in a way, or maybe he is going to not be an extreme type lead, but like a very new lead where he gives ki and a certain boost to, you know, giants or something, you know, apes, all those, you know, something along those lines, just to make the game a bit different. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how they would implement these two into the game. So my next character on this list is Villis, and I would imagine that she's going to be on a lot of your guys' list, and the reason why is because she's popular and of course she's bae. But anyway, I'm surprised that she wasn't added with Champa in the Super Saiyan League Ken banner, I believe, and like still to this day, she has not been implemented into the game. She can maybe get a support item like Whis. Obviously Whis does have his own support item in like 3 different units, which is great. And obviously 2 of the Whis units have received rebirths, and the Agility 1 could still potentially get one in the future. But I'm still very interested to see what they do with Villis, because it hasn't exactly been stated in the manga, well, anime or manga completely, but they do seem to be on the same wavelength, so it will be interesting to see what type of card they make Villis. Maybe they will make him, well, maybe they will make her stronger than Whis, who knows. Maybe they will make her, well, I hope they don't make her similar to Whis, because it would kind of be pointless. It's like, okay, whatever. It's just exact same unit. But then again, having those two in the exact same team, and if they're capable of doing the exact same things, it could be a good combination if you don't have certain units like Pycon, and you know, I could go on about this all day, but basically the point is that I do believe that Villis should be implemented into the game. Maybe when they start releasing the units for this Universal Survival arc, they will finally implement Villis into the game, and it makes sense, right, because she does have a bigger role in this entire thing, even though she isn't actually fighting herself. But definitely very interested to see what a Villis card would look like in the future. Okay, so now we have Lord Slug. He's in Xenoverse 2, he is just currently not in Dokkan, and I definitely feel like this guy has a lot of potential. I feel like if they released a card for Lord Slug, he would be a hard hitter and potentially a healer as well. So it makes sure of something that Ella Piccolo can do, or you know, the physical type Piccolo, and you know, just adding an attack boost to him. And again, a lot of people have theorized that he is going to be the extreme tech type lead, and to be honest, I would not mind that, because again, he's a new unit. I feel like it would be a great addition to Extreme Tech, and he could easily have the Shocking Speed link, which would be a perfect link for that Monotech team. And it would be interesting to see what they would do with this character, because he definitely does have a lot of potential. I don't think that they would make him a support item by any means, just because they haven't implemented a card for him, or an SSR for him. Even before they make him a farmable unit, they just release the event and they're like, you know what? We are not going to, you know, make him a pullable SSR. And the thing about Bandai is that they don't tend to follow like power levels or anything, or just sagas, because like they've literally been releasing events like all over the place, because Super Saiyan Blue Goku came out before Super Saiyan God. So you can see where things are kind of all over the place in terms of like releasing specific units and following certain timelines. But I definitely feel like he could be on the cards in the coming days / weeks, or maybe even months. Who knows when they want to release him. But let's move on to the next one. Of course, we have the one and only Xeno, or Omniking, whatever you want to call him. And I feel like if they were to implement a Xeno into the game, he would be extremely broken. Maybe at the end of Dokkan, when the game is like dying, if it ever decides to die, of course. If people ever stop deciding to pay for stuff in this game, of course. Yeah, I definitely don't see him being in an SSR specifically. Maybe a legendary rare, who knows. But if they were to make him a card, I don't think they would make him that overpowered, even though he is supposed to be the strongest being in the universe. Granted, you still have the Grand Priest, who they need to make a card of. So, you know what, I'm kind of going to include the Grand Priest in this as well, because I guess he's part of the whole Xeno gang, let's just call them that. So it would be interesting to see what they do with those two. Maybe, again, support items. I definitely feel like a support item, pardon me, is on the cards for Xeno, specifically just because of how overpowered he is. This guy can destroy an entire, you know, universe without any problems at all. So it would be interesting to see how they implement him into this game, if they implement him at all, mate. Maybe they won't. Maybe he will be a farmable item from a specific event. Maybe they will finally introduce him when they start to release the Universal Survival arc units. There is definitely a lot of potential for this unit, pardon me. And of course, they can still do stuff for the other angels, the other fighters of the other universes, the Omniking guards. There is just so much potential for this particular set of units, especially for the characters in Dragon Ball Super. I could just talk about a bunch of characters that I would like to have implemented into Super, and of course, I would imagine that the majority of them are going to happen. Obviously, you have Kale, Caulifla. I hope I didn't butcher the name completely. So yeah, a ton of units that they could still potentially implement into the game, but I'm not, like, I told myself that before, basically I told myself before this video that I wasn't going to talk about what I wanted to be implemented from Super in this new arc just yet, because obviously we still have yet to see a ton of units, but I feel like these are the most popular characters that people want to be, well, the popular characters that people want to see, and of course the characters that I want to see the most implemented into the game. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comment section down below who you want to be implemented into the game the most, and I will, like I said before, try my very best to make a follow-up video to this and just see what you guys have to say. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.